Hey Beth, how are you? Doctor? All right. So,
We were waiting for you.
yeah, come on, Pete, get moving. We're about ready to bang the gavel and you're walking down, man.
All the Pete's, we have to have at least 3 in the room.
You have to have Pete in the
At
room.
least 2.
Pete and Pete. Pete and repeat. Yeah, it's on. Ready? Okay. Dina, would you lead us in the pledge, please? Oh, great. I just cut myself again. Great. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, calling to order the December 3rd board meeting of the town of Johnsburg. I need a motion to approve the minutes from November 19th.
Motion?
Second.
Do we have any discussion, conversation, or corrections? Okay, seeing none, I call for a motion. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Did somebody? Oh, really? Thank you. Uh-huh. All right, we are moving on from resolution 4, that's being tabled. What we have discovered is that with the volunteer boards for zoning, for planning, and for the Board of Assessment Review, we really don't have a process in place for, I guess, for them coming back on board. What's the right word for that?
Being reinstated.
Reinstated, thank you, and reappointed. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this off until the next meeting because we're basically gonna put a process in place. That process is gonna be handed out to all the board members. We will basically, they will give us their thoughts and ideas as to how to best do it, and then we'll move forward. So number 4 is off. Let's see, number 5, resolution to approve Main Brothers Oil Company bid for town fuel. I take it that's yours, Mr. Olszewski? Okay. Does anybody have we need a motion to bring this to the floor, please?
Motion?
Second.
All right. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, I call for a vote. All those in favor? Aye. All right. Number 5, I believe we are gonna,
Number 6.
or excuse me, 6, excuse me. Number 6, that we've already pretty much taken care of. Okay, so that's on. Number 7 is resolution to authorize to advertise and fill vacant labor positions for Department of Public Property Programs effective December 10th, 2024. Pete, you want to, I don't know, I mean, you basically, somebody resigned, I believe, gave their 2 weeks, and you have another 2 that you need to fill?
No, it's labor 3.
Oh, labor, I'm sorry, labor 3, my apologies.
We have an employee who's been with us for about a year. He has received another job offer that he would like to pursue. His last day will be the 10th. Being that we're in our busier time of the year with snow, hoping to act as quickly as possible. This authorization would allow me to advertise for 2 weeks and then start the interview process, get somebody backfilled as quickly as possible.
Okay, great. Need a motion to bring this to the floor, please.
Move. Second.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, I call for a vote. All those in favor? Aye.
Can I just ask what we did with the tax? Are we tabling?
We're gonna take it off the table because nobody turned in applications. I'm
Gotcha,
sorry, we didn't
gotcha. I
make that
wasn't
clear.
aware of that.
No,
Okay.
nobody turned in any new applications, so we don't have anything to approve.
Gotcha.
Sorry, we
Okay.
should have said that.
Sorry.
Thank you for
Thank you.
asking. That should have been made more clear to
Nope,
everyone.
That's good.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
All right, number 8, resolution to authorize proceed for pressure washing, painting, tannery in the spring, authorization for refundable $10,000 deposit. I gotta say, Pete has done I don't know how he did it, but he's got somebody that's actually willing to do the work on this place for a lot less money than I ever would have thought we would be paying to have the place power washed and stained. So kudos to you. So I need a motion to bring this to the floor, please.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or concerns?
No, I think it's great. It's fully refundable, the $10,000.
Yep.
It makes sense to do it.
Yep, no, it does. All right, call for vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Another one, resolution to authorize proceed for sanding, refinishing hardwood floors in the auditorium of Tannery Pond. This is going to be taking place after our busy season, because obviously we are in the throes of the busy season as far as the holidays, concerts, plays, that type of thing. Again, from what I gather, a pretty good deal as far as the job is concerned. So I need a motion to bring this to the floor, please.
You have. Second.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I would just say that, that we are going with a little bit higher bid
Right.
solely because of the protection to the chairs, the drapery,
Yep.
the non-areas. So that was built into the cost. It's also coming out of funds from this year's budget line, and it'll be encumbered so that, it's money that Pete has in the budget. It encumbers it so that we can roll it into next year and pay for it. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. I need to call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Resolution for seasonal hire for highway department. Fred, how many are we looking at? 2? Okay, all right. And it's for, basically for plowing wing, is that correct? Right. Okay. Got it. Okay, all right. I need a motion to bring this to the floor, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, seeing none, I call for a vote. All those in favor? Aye. All right, resolution for 30-day waiver for Weaver Creek Diner.
That came in late yesterday, today's Tuesday, yes, this came in yesterday's mail, and, the attorney had called and asked if we could get it done sooner rather than later, waiting to the middle of the month, and it's just authorizing them to go ahead. The application process takes like 10 months, we could cut off a few weeks by waiving the 30-day, waiting period, so it's something we've done in the past for other,
Yeah.
restaurants and stuff as well, so.
Okay. Need a motion, to bring this to the floor, please?
motion.
Second.
Okay. Do we have any concerns about this? Any comments?
I mean, anything we can do to support
The local-
a local business. I mean, dealing with the liquor authority is painful and long, so.
Okay. All right. All right, I call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so now here we are, believe it or not, we're about ready to get into year 2025. And we're going to be we're going to start the process for prepping for our organizational meeting as of January 1. So Anna and I have had a couple of conversations, as have Jim and I, just about how we're going to start moving forward. We do have a couple of positions we need to consider advertising for. And if you want to start the conversation, we'll just kind of take it from there.
Sure. You want to move it to the floor? Do we-
Sure. Well, it's really more of a discussion.
Discussion,
It's more a
we need to-
discussion, yeah.
It's just a
Okay.
discussion, we don't need to. Yep.
So I know water clerk, ZEO, historian, animal control. And I feel like I'm missing one, but I know that those are at least 4 that.
Safety officer.
Safety officer, thank you, thank you. safety officer. So those are the 5 right now that would need to put in letters of interest. We should have it done now so we can make those appointments
Okay.
on January 1st.
And if we don't get letters of interest, it'll give us time to advertise for those positions.
It ought to be. All right, we add that to the list?
Sure.
Add that to the list, please. Yes, sir? Okay, so we are looking for a health officer. We are looking for a safety officer. Again, they're more than likely, a lot of these people will submit that are already doing the job, submit their applications or interest letters of interest again. Dog or animal control, water clerk, what am I missing, Anna?
CEO and
CEO
historian.
and historian. I think we have a historian that's wants the job already,
Yes.
so I don't have to worry about that one.
So most of them, people will probably resubmit letters.
You're not getting a raise. No, you're not getting a raise. Don't ask me for a raise. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
The only one that seems out of place on that list is the historian, because that is solely at the discretion of the supervisor,
Okay.
Okay,
just like the deputy supervisor.
So we could take that one off.
Your appointment only.
Okay.
thank you.
Good.
Thanks, Pete.
I think we can do that, Dina. Pretty sure.
Pretty safe.
Pretty sure we can do that. All right. Any other commentary or conversation about the organization? Obviously, we've got another couple weeks, but we should probably have more things together by the 17th.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be good if we all came with something that
Yep.
we want to make sure that is on it. Better than conversation from last year, but we want to do better.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, amen on that one. Yeah.
So are we asking anyone in the public if they do have a letter of interest or want to, they should have it into us by a specific time?
Yeah.
Or
That's a good point. So let it be known that we are making it public now that if you have an interest in any of those positions, zoning enforcement, for the safety officer, for the animal control and water clerk, you please submit your letters of interest. By, do we have a, what was the date? Is it by January 1, by December 31st? How do we have done it in the
Well,
past? James?
we can have them for the organizational meeting and make that decision at that time, or we can
Yeah.
have it in.
So why don't
at
we
the
have it
end of
in-
December before the meeting, however you all want to work it.
I think January 1.
January 1.
Yeah.
So we won't have our meeting until the next week.
7th, yeah, 7th. We're having a meeting on the 7th. So yeah, so January 1. Yes. Yes. We're looking to split it out. It's just, we think it's a little bit too much. Jean has, God bless her. God bless her. No, thanks. Yeah, we got to split it out. It's too much. It's too much.
It's gonna continue to grow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yes,
with
Jeff.
the sewer and everything being
Yeah.
added into it, it's just gonna be.
Oh, glad to know that.
Well, it appears also the microphone's picking it up better.
Thank you,
Okay.
Michael.
Yeah, Mike,
Yeah.
good
Thank
job.
you, Michael.
After he gets his award, he finally does a good job, huh? Sorry, chief, I couldn't help it.
Oh,
I'm
that was
just,
harsh.
sorry, man, and forgive me. All right. Are we good with the organizational meeting?
So,
Okay, all right. Discussion on recreational trails. So I'm trying to remember how this goes. We had received a match for the recreational trails. Jim, if you want to jump in at any point, please. I mean,
Yeah, the connector trail that we put money into to cover the amount of the grant. And the cost is Danae is going through and canceling out the books or closing out the books on the trail. We were short $975 of the town's match. It had spanned not just last year, but the year before with design work on that part of the trail. And The accounting was just off. So we need to move $975 from somewhere into that to cover the added cost of that the town's portion was.
All right. And what she has recommended is we can either take it from general fund, from OCTAX, or from ARPA. In conversations with both Anna, Jim, and I think Arnold, I'm in favor of the ARPA money because we have to use it up by next December anyways, by the end of next year, by the end of 25. So I'm more inclined to use ARPA money for it. It makes more sense. Paul?
Sounds good,
Okay.
logical.
Arnold, any other, you good with that?
That's good.
Okay.
I'm
Take it,
totally
please.
fine with it. The only thing I want to check is on that number because I do think we have until 2026.
I can check. Is it 26? I
It's
thought you said.
26.
Okay.
Yeah. Not that it changes my mind, but I just want to be clear on that we
Yeah.
do have some.
She was fairly certain that it was December 31st, 25.
25,
She
okay,
said that
the
twice,
25,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And yeah,
The report, the
has to
reports,
be,
that's
it's
in,
by the-
okay, thank
yeah,
you.
By 26.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
and this helps to not have to take it from one of the other park lines.
Right. Yep, no, absolutely.
So are we going to do this as a floor resolution?
Do we, what is that for 900?
If
I don't
we're
know.
moving-
I don't, do we need to
with a
it's such a small amount?
$975?
I mean, it's,
All right, so,
I don't
I
know that
think-
we're gonna follow a procurement policy, it's just something that got missed
Probably.
along the way.
I
okay,
think-
all right, so floor resolution
Yeah,
for using $975 of ARPA money to pay the loan back for the match for the connector trails. Will that do it for you?
that'll be perfect, thank you.
Okey-doke.
I know you're all sick of resolutions and resolutions, but I just want to
I
make
know,
sure.
No, no,
I
thank
get
you.
it, no. All right, next, where is it?
So we
Okay.
need to get a first and a second.
We need a
Oh, I'm
first
sorry, need a motion to bring this to the floor, please.
motion?
Second?
And any further conversation? Seeing none, call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, next, board discussion, and actually what we have is a floor resolution. We are looking at amending local law, what the heck is it? 1 of 2015, where we are going to go to alternate side of the street parking on Main Street. So we can finally get the sidewalks and the streets clean. I can see a lot of people nodding and happy. I'm glad to see that. But that's basically what we're looking to do. So this resolution is to announce that we are going to have a public hearing for this on December 17th. Currently, Main Street is one of these, is one side of the street parking during the winter. The town of Johnsburg, for the purpose of snow removal, would like to amend local law to enforce alternate side of the street parking, whereas a public hearing is required to amend the existing local law. Therefore, be it resolved, the town of Johnsburg Town Board authorizes that a public hearing be held Tuesday, December 17th at 6:45 with regular meeting to follow. Yes. We're working on that. We have to, I've got a conversation with the attorney teed up, and then we have some things in place, but we want to make sure before the 17th that we've got everything ready to go, so we're all on the same page. Yes. Well, the question is, and it's a good question, one, we would have to have someone tow them if it were towed. We are in the law, we're looking to give people a 15-minute window. So if you're at Braley and you're picking something up, if you're at Cafe Sarah grabbing some coffee, you have 15 minutes. Hopefully you will abide by those 15 minutes. After that, we're going to basically have to look at how we're going to enforce it. It really is, and there's been, I'm sorry, Jeff, go right ahead. Boy. Midnight to 9, thank you, since you wrote most of it. Yes, county's going to provide the signage for it. Yep. Arthur? I think most are because it just gives us an opportunity to clean the sidewalks and streets better. It's been, it's one of those where it's interesting. You get some that are not all that happy about the idea and others that have been asking for it for a while. So, and it's tough. In the wintertime, it's tough to make sure that all the streets are clean. I can tell you right now, like I grew up, we've moved in lived in a bunch of different places. This is a norm in most cities. That you have to move cars in the wintertime if you're gonna be able to clean the streets completely. All right,
Is there
so
a resolution already written for this?
to
that I
the
can-
board resolution for the public hearing,
Okay, can I get a copy of that?
yes,
after
of
I-
course, I will hand you the copy when
Thank
we're,
you.
yes. So I need a motion to bring this to the floor, please.
Motion?
All right. Any further comments or discussion?
Second.
Actually, I thought at the end it did. Right. All right. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Supervisor's report is.
So let me
Yeah,
jump
okay,
in.
yeah, please. Yep.
Just for board discussion. In looking at New York State real property tax law, there's an opportunity for a town to, like firefighters make deductions or alter the property tax that they pay. New York Real Property Tax Law 495C is real property owned by one or more persons with disabilities, or real property owned by a married person or a married couple, or siblings with disabilities with limited income, provides them tax relief at the local town level. I haven't jumped fully into this and didn't want to waste my time doing that if there wasn't board support. I feel people with disabilities, this isn't age-based. We have deductions, based off of age in this town, but this is someone with disabilities. There's stringent, categories of what those disabilities are and proof. There's a whole assessor manual for it. But if it's something that the board would be supportive of, I can roll up my sleeves and get to work on that.
Absolutely, from my point.
Anna?
Sure, I'd be interested.
Okay,
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yes.
okay.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
Yep.
All right, supervisor's report is in your packet. I can remember, do I need a motion for that one?
Mhm.
Motion? Okay, do we have a second? Okay. Any comments or concerns? Seeing none, call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, committee reports. I am going to provide one update, and I'm sorry that the Nestles are not here, but I did receive the termination agreement from Hudson Headwaters. So we are no longer going to be paying Hudson Headwaters an annual stipend for them to be here in North Creek. I thought people would appreciate that.
Good.
Yes, it is. Paul, Anna, and then,
So we're saying zero?
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Not much right now. We did have a impromptu meeting as far as the highway department. We're trying to get things back flowing again as far as a regular highway committee. It seems to have stalled, but we're gonna go forward with it. Other than that, I do not have a whole lot.
Just to go back to what we talked about last week with the garbage and getting information out.
Thank you.
um,
Yep.
Since that was a part of, we had talked about getting that information at our last board meeting. I wanted to know where we were with that and what kind of decisions we had made. I had done an impromptu poster with some information on it, but it definitely needs to be run by the folks who are gonna actually be dealing with it to make sure the information is correct, as well as making sure we get that letter out for Todd to have in hand. Because again, the people in the office are gonna be dealing with the folks that are coming in. And right now we're looking at, they've already started. And, if we're saying January 1st, we're already less than a month away. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess my question is that month timeline still where we want to be? Are we giving people enough time?
Any thoughts? I mean, I,
And yeah, and Pete, I mean, please dial in because it's your,
So we are working on it, or
Yeah.
we're trying to still talk through it.
Yeah.
One of the things that I don't think all of the board is aware is that Warren County was on site yesterday. Our scales as of 3 or 3:30 yesterday afternoon have been certified.
awesome.
That project is now complete. Both scales are ready to be charged across. We got a little bit of a crash course in how it works. There's still some questions that we have to figure out internally about our process. And I think it's really important that when we send the information out, that we give as much detail about the process as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why we're hung up.
Okay.
I really appreciate the closure that you helped put together, or you put together for us. I think we're gonna try to take that and build around it.
Sure.
Again, a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Um,
How do you feel about the timeline, I guess? I mean, as far as like giving you and your team enough time to work on the system and then put the information about charging, does that January timeline still feel like enough, or is it a moving target still at this point?
the holidays complicate.
Yeah.
true. Didn't think about that one.
I'd like to see what we can do this week. We have next week, and then you guys will meet again on the 17th. I'd like to try to stay on track with the first if we can. I feel like 2 weeks.
Okay.
I know, I'm putting you on this spot.
I don't want to say 2 weeks is enough.
Yeah.
but I feel like two weeks is like the minimum. And I still think that we're ahead of that. If we could get something mailed out next week, we would still be plus 2 weeks to the change taking effect. Again, there's still some questions with the credit card end of things. There's questions with the operation of the scale. Unfortunately, Todd was not even present. He had a pre-scheduled day off. It was the day that Warren County was available. So, again,
Just a few, okay.
we have some moving parts and some things to figure out.
Why don't we sit down and talk for the next couple of days, see what we can come up with.
Because I just want to make sure that they're set up for success with
no,
that
I
and that
agree.
we're also giving enough time. So,
Yep.
you know,
And that's appreciated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of changes all at once.
Mhm.
It's exciting, but it's also a little scary.
yeah.
And then we need to think too, because the resolution we did was putting it all in place with the 15 cents as of January 1st. So it doesn't matter if we're gonna go over that, we would just need to
Amend it.
amend or
Yep.
rescind and redo the
Amend,
resolution.
okay.
That's why I'm saying, if we can't pull something together by early next week, then we would have time to get it back on the agenda.
And amend it
Sure.
and change the date.
Sure.
And
Okay.
even pushing it a week, yeah, sure.
One.
The taxes won't go out in time for that.
Yeah,
We do, speaking of that though, we had discussed, and something for the board to consider. The money from the ARPA funds that you allocated earlier for the trail project, that comes from an
designated.
undesignated $14,000 that's still sitting there.
Yep.
That has to be used by the end of next year. So the suggestion was
Yep.
that we would use some of that for this townwide mailing as well. So it wouldn't be, a hit against any.
Let Tony ask the question.
Okay.
No, yeah, it is.
Yes. The short answer is yes.
It's
Community
Gene,
outreach and
Yeah,
The
it's-
thing
it's-
with the taxes, though, when I mail out the taxes, it may be the last few days of December. I don't like to get them out before Christmas. I don't want to say Merry Christmas, here's your property taxes. So they typically would not be out before the 1st of January. Anyway, I wouldn't mind putting them in there. That's not a problem, but however it's
timing,
gonna
yeah.
work out that the information needs to get out there, we can certainly do that. But my taxes aren't typically done till the last week, first few days of January.
Um,
All right,
Okay.
okay. You have any other, as far as committee reports?
No, I mean, we had a good marketing committee meeting. We got pricing on the signs. I am reaching out to Paul from Garnet Signs to, it's a big ask. Again, we talked about funds and ARPA funds, but if we are going to spend that money, Pi will be putting a resolution on next board meeting for a mock-up, because I think
Good.
it would be worthwhile. If we're going to spend a lot of money, we need to look at what it actually is going to look like, make sure the sign is what we want. But yeah, that was really it for marketing, and everything else is sort of at a standstill right now.
Mr. Williams?
Yep, Parks, just want to give congrats to Pete for all the hard work and appreciation for all the hard work he's put into the lights on that's going to happen this weekend. His crew's been hard at it, sprucing up the town, making it look festive, and much appreciated. Sewer, we opened bids last week. Contrary to what's been said around town, no bids have been awarded. No contracts have been signed. There's issues that we're working through with those bids. Was a lot of talk about laterals. The contracts had capped laterals. The map plan and report that was presented to the public was to have those laterals hooked up to individual homes. There was discussion, confusion when those RFPs went out of what was allowed by USDA. We had a conversation with USDA yesterday, and we can use funds from the grants to hook up the properties that are in the sewer district, as long as that's being done during the initial construction. The issues that we're going to have to face in why USDA initially was hesitant on that is the map plan and report has the town putting those laterals in on private property. And then the homeowners being responsible for the maintenance of those laterals. The town and the district would be responsible where the lateral leaves or is at the edge of town property. So how to get around that was to get permanent easements and have the town own all the laterals and then have to go on to private property if there was an issue or a problem. That was real cumbersome, and the USDA didn't like that. Though we got clarification yesterday, and by signing a user agreement, we can get around those obstacles and use the grant money to do the hookups. The bigger issue that we're working through right now is that the bids came back higher than the 7.6 million that we've been authorized by the district to spend. So we're trying to work through our options there. It might mean that we need to get more funding and create a whole new map plan and report. There are some pathways that we can follow, and we're exploring those pathways and having discussions along the way. But right now, we are not in a position where we can award those bids. We're working on it. We know we have a timeline, and hopefully we can overcome those hurdles that we have.
Yep. Good. Mr.
Town of
Stevens?
Johnsburg Seniors Committee. We had our initial meeting about a week ago, and there was a lot of participation, and a lot of interest has been shown in that. We would like to have a more formalized adoption of that committee to take place at the next town board meeting. So if we have anyone else who is interested in that committee, please let us know and we can make arrangements. Our next meeting is scheduled for January 8th at 10 a.m. here at Canada.
Good, I'll put that on my calendar. All right. Next on the agenda is warrants. Need a motion to bring it to the floor.
Motion?
Second?
Yep, okay. Just waiting. All right. Do we have any questions or concerns? Seeing none, I call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, privilege of the
No.
floor. Oh,
Those opposed?
oh, I'm sorry. Did you oppose?
I oppose.
I'm sorry, my apologies, Arnold, I missed that. All right,
Who poses the warrants?
one opposed, yes,
Okay.
yes, one opposed, and I know why. He explained it to me earlier. Thank you, sir, for the correction. All right. Privilege of the, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. It's kind of hard because no one, sorry, Beth, but no one can hear you from. Nine o'clock, 10 o'clock on the 8th? 10 o'clock on the 8th, okay.
Hi, it's Beth Marr from North River. I appreciate hearing about the senior committee being incorporated as an official committee of the town. I wonder why we haven't formally established the emergency preparedness as
good-
an official committee of the town.
We can do that the next meeting. Good point, Beth. Thank you. Yep. Judy, please.
I'm Judy Brown, and I kind of oversee the reuse shed, Pete's Repeat. And we want to talk about, a little bit about it. We've had great success. It's been a year, and people are loving it. People are loving to bring things. People are loving to take things, and we get a lot of turnover. We are short-spaced. We have very little space, and but it's been good. People have been bringing in, and we throw out things. On Monday, I was there, and someone had come and thrown a whole lot of furniture in the C&D, and it was furniture that looked like it was perfectly good. We don't have a place for furniture, and I would love to have a place that we could accept furniture and give furniture out. And up at the dump, there is a good place because of where the weight station is for C&D. We are going to have to move the shed so it won't be in the way of the traffic coming on the weight station. When we do that, if we move it up the hill a little bit, there is another space up there. A little bit of sand gets moved and it'll take care of the parking too. So I'm just putting this out there as a thought. If the town will accept that we can go ahead and do that, I don't believe it'll cost the town anything because I think North Country Ministry will possibly help with that and we can get grants. So, but I think it's really for that kind of stuff to be thrown out when somebody can use it in our own community, it just makes sense.
Yep.
So hopefully that'll be something we can do in the future.
Great. Thank you, Judy. Thank you. Amy?
Amy Sabatis, the sewer grant, or not the grants, I'm sorry. The bids that came in, you said they were over. How much are we lacking? Like, how much would we have to come up with in order for this to?
1.5 million.
1.5 million?
Yep.
Okay.
That's a big number. And Jim's been in touch with a couple of different, I'm trying to remember who, you had a conversation where there might be options or opportunities for other funding, but I'm not so sure it's going to cover that
So
big
we
of a
might
nut.
have to come up with some money to match.
Yeah, some of the problem with the funding is if we get money in, it changes the dynamic of the USDA grant. So, you know, you get money in and then they take money away on their end of things. So, you know, again, there's a couple of options that we're exploring. We still need to get approval from the USDA before we can pursue it,
Okay,
but
I was just curious.
yeah,
Thanks.
working on it.
Anyone else for privilege of the floor? Oh, okay. Seeing none, I call for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
So moved. Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Holy mackerel. When I looked at the agenda, I never thought we'd be out of here before 8 o'clock. Honest to God. I never